And we're live. This is the next edition of Cav and Convos. So today I have a very special guest, Annie. Annie is a great role model of mine, a good friend, somebody I've known a really long time, somebody that's always been in my corner. And I thought that, I'd like to share, have you share your story with people listening because, you have a unique story. You are a very busy person. I feel you do a little bit of everything, but you are really good at all the things you do. So why don't you introduce yourself, Annie?
Hi, hi, I'm Annie. I have known Kevin for so long, since he was in grade 11.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. I am so thankful to reconnect to Kevin. Um, Kevin younger than me, but Kevin teach me so much. I learned from Kevin. And I'm very yeah, humble to know you and work with you and to be um, walking on the same road with you now.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And it's funny how life was and is today, right? Like we met each other at a very funny time in my life because I was only a teenager at the time and I was getting ready for university. And like a lot of parents, like people in our community, Vietnamese community, right? Parents really value education. And one of the biggest worries for my parents was that I wasn't able to qualify into a good university. And obviously, like we met you. You were my tutor. I don't like to call you my tutor because you're more than just that. You were a very good role model for me, and you helped me out in the times where I was very very confused about what I wanted to do with my life. And you tutored me, and that's the first thing I want to talk about. So you own a tutoring business, and how long have you been running that business for?
I actually have been tutor for 24 years. So I started when I was in second year University of Toronto, and I go to people house. I started going to people house to private tutor, and then it built up. It built up over the years, and then when I graduated with Bachelor of Science, and then with acupuncture, and I have hundred of students. So I don't know what to do. Should I start my new career path or should I continue with tutoring? I was very confused at the time. And you know what? I learned through life, follow your passion, follow what you like to do. So I guess my passion was in teaching student, well, helping student. So I choose to continue with my tutoring. And once you settle with what you want to do in life, I believe you will be success. And I think that's how I started with a private tutor and then opened a center. And when that's when you came, I opened the center.
Was
And
it brand like when you opened the center was like that was
it
2008?
was 2006 I started, opened the center.
Okay.
So 2008 you came, and then until now, yeah, with the centers we moved to places, but the center still exists.
Yeah.
And we own the center, we own the place, so it's an accomplishment for the past 24 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about private tutoring, so growing out of that space, right, and then evolving into like a center,
Yeah.
because you need a place to store, not store, but have students,
Mm,
come.
yeah.
And I've been to, I mean, I was a student there, so I was at the original center, and then when you moved to the new center, when I first came back to visit you
Yeah.
the first few times,
Yeah.
I noticed that it was like a zoo there. There's like so many students.
Yes. Yes.
It's like it's like unbelievable.
Mhm.
There's maybe like how many tutors? Like two tutors.
No, usually we have five tutors,
So yeah,
two in each room. And we have two tutors for the younger kids. We have two tutors for the middle school and the high school, and then myself. So
yeah.
there are always five of us. Yes, they running around, but as long as they feel comfortable when they come, the whole point for me is when the kids come to the center, they feel they are being helped,
Yeah.
and they feel when they left the center, they feel that, oh, this is the place I want to come back. So most the student, they ask to come. I if they're not being forced to come, they ask to come. Can I go
Yeah.
to any? So that for me is a rewarding, because you actually do something that help them, and that's why they want to come.
I mean, I was one of those students too. I remember I was there like it was like a buffet. Like I could
Mhm.
go as much as I wanted, as often as I needed because at that time I wanted to make sure my marks were I know marks are not everything in life, but it is important that
Yeah.
we have the right, mark
Yeah.
to go to university. And I remember at that time also, I would go to the center and it was busy. But then I noticed a lot of people around my age or a little bit younger. There were people I knew.
Yeah.
Some I met them somewhere in my life, or
Yeah.
they were a friend of mine, or somebody I had lost connection with, and I reconnected with them at your center,
Yeah.
at the tutoring center. And that means that you've actually impacted so many families and you touch so many different groups of people. And I find that to be very remarkable because it doesn't really matter where people live ish.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm sure that the distance is also important, but it seems that everyone just like ends up there and gets help from you.
Yeah, it's funny. Everywhere I go, they recognize me. Oh, Annie, it's you. Or the student asks, "Where do you go? Where do you go for tutor?" Oh, I went to Annie. So it's like yes. I got all my student from referral. There's no advertising.
Is
So
there ever advertising?
uh, in the small newspaper, just a little word so people know that I that my phone number is still there. The whole purpose of having that in the classify as any tutor and my phone number. That's it. So they remember that they know that there's the number. They don't lost my phone number, right? But it's all from referral. And uh, and you're right. When with the high school, especially with the high school, because I tutor more with the high school, when they come to me they feel really lost. They don't know what to do. And
Yeah.
I've been through it. I think because I've been through it, so I know how they felt. And listen to them and uh, be the listener. Listen to them. And once you listen to them, you actually know about them, and then you can recommend them. Okay, this is what you're good at. You should go into what you're good at, right? And yeah, a lot of good story come out. They all ended up with the career that they want to be. Yeah.
Or yeah, that's really wonderful because I would say like for myself personally, I had to do more trial and error, but it wasn't like a complete restart again from the bottom. Like I would evolve as well, like take some skills or experiences from past things.
Yeah.
But at the time when I came and studied with you, I knew I wanted to study something related to business,
Yeah.
which was like it's always been consistent, like but I didn't really know like what that would look like later down the line.
Mm,
But like I said, I know from personal experience, it doesn't feel good when you don't have like a real direction.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
I think that you were able to provide not just for me, but for so many students,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that sort
Yeah.
of direction or at least an idea.
Yeah, have an idea so that they see the road ahead a little bit clearer, so that they know, okay, this is where I go into. It's it's yeah, I wish I had that when I was young too. It's just that knowing that okay, you get to try it. If you don't like it, yes, you can change your mind
Yeah.
afterward, but at least you see it, right? And I usually tell them the story of previous student who went through it and how they experienced it, so they get to know a little bit. Yeah.
Because you have such a huge sample size of students from, if you're doing this 24 years, I
Yeah.
can reasonably assume your database of experience is so much at this point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, all the books in my head. I don't need to look at the book. I remember the question in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you tutored math,
yeah.
sciences, stuff
Math
like
and
that.
science, chemistry, biology.
It's all the hard subjects that people actually need tutoring for.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what that's what you specialized in for 24 long years,
Mm-hmm.
and you still continue to do it.
Yeah, I love it, and I believe if I still have the energy, I will continue to do it. So it just depends, right? But I love helping the kids. Not only that, I feel like my job is not as a tutor but as a connector between the children and the parents.
Yeah,
In our culture, the parents, there's a big gap between the parents and the children. they
absolutely.
they can't communicate. The kids are born here, the parents are first generation here, so the culture, they're not we, even though we are in the same culture, but
Yeah,
we have we are in different generations, right? And and so a lot of parents, they don't understand the school system here, and so on.
yeah.
So my job is to be a connector between the both of them. um, I read the report card, I interpret, like explain the report card. I
Yeah.
I do everything I can, so that the parents understand better what's going on with the children.
Yeah, no, I remember you did tell me that as well. Um, and that's important because I could relate to that as well. I am also, child of immigrants, and there's a generation gap, a cultural gap as well. Like, because we're born here, so we operate on a different sort of like program, right? Like and they live here too, so they kind of understand, but they don't know fully.
Yeah.
So I could understand, and basically what you are able to help them to do is you're able to kind of bridge and connect,
Mm.
which helps families as well.
Yes.
So it's not just the academic side, but it's
Yes.
more like family healing, family
Yes.
building.
Yes.
And I noticed that it creates a better community,
It is. It
right?
is. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've talked about it so much. Like it would be sad one day if you didn't run the tutoring center anymore. I mean, like it's such a huge thing in our community,
Yeah.
and it's helped so many people. And I kind of like hope that it just goes on and on.
Yeah, no, no. Now, have been touring that long, 24 years. One thing I realized that not only I prepare the student for their school education success, I realize, if I can help them out, prepare them financially success, teaching them financial literacy, that will help them down the road. Once they're done school, they know how to, not when they're done school, when they turn 18,
Yeah.
how they can start saving up, and how that saving up will help them down the road. So because of that, I went on and I learned financial planning. I went on, I invest in myself, learning financial planning, do the CLU, Certified Financial CLU, which is the Certified Life Underwriter, know all about financial planning so that I can teach them more to prepare for them.
And also you're on a different path now. You're basically going to help them with the real estate stuff now, right?
Yes,
Because that's what we've been working on
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Um, I think that you're also a real estate investor, so you have experience.
Hmm.
You always share with me your that journey. Why don't we talk about that? Just dive a little bit into that.
Okay, I love real estate investment. I love real estate investing too because I think that's how you accumulate your wealth, right? If money, if you put in the bank, it can't go against inflation, right?
Yep,
And you
it's
lost
true.
the power of buying. So real estate investing is a way for you to accumulate your wealth, and that's how one after another. Like I live in one house 3 years, sold it, go into the next one. 3 years, sold it, go to the next one. I think that's how it built up. If I stay in the same one, I won't be where I am right now.
So you started off like what year did you start
Um,
investing?
I started 2008 with the first townhouse, and then 2011 we bought a single
Yeah.
house, and then 2014 we got another single house. So
Okay.
we'll flip, and then using the equity of the house, the home line credit, you go on. I bought the tutoring center
Yeah.
in 2000 using the home line of the house. I bought the tutoring center so that it's an investment too, right?
Yep.
Instead of paying the rent every day, I mean every month for the tutoring center, and which I know that I will run for a long time. So why don't I invest to buy it? So I bought the tutoring center using the home line of my house and then convert that into a mortgage
Yeah.
and then go on into another property using that. So I think you have to learn how to make your money work for you.
And I think you've done a pretty good job with that because that last property you bought is in like US, right?
Yes.
Want to talk
Yes.
about a little bit about that?
Yes, yes. I love Florida. I've been to Florida so many times. I hope I will retire in Florida. Like, 6 months here, 6 months there. It's just so relaxed when I'm down there.
Don't tell the parents that though, because the 6 months you're going to be gone,
No, no,
all the marks are going to be like really bad for
no,
their
no, that
students
will be in 20 years down the road. Yeah, but I found that Florida market is doable. Is the rental market is really good. You can get your house rent out in 10 days, 2 weeks,
because there's such a
and
high demand, right?
it's such a high demand. Yes, and so many new house building, so many new house building down there, and the values of the house that you buy and the rental is like pretty okay that you're able to have a cash flow instead of negative cash flow if you buy a condo here or you
Yeah.
buy a property in GTA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So you bought this property in Florida, which you're renting out,
yeah.
and just like most Canadians,
Hmm.
or not just Canadians, but people living in colder weather,
Yeah,
they want to do that snowbird life,
yeah,
and it's very clear to me that you have that already set in your mind because 6 months is it's a considerable amount of
yes,
time.
yes,
And no, obviously you've done really well for yourself when it comes to real estate, because you talked about it. You hit it, I think, really accurately about the equity, building up the equity, right?
yeah,
And we always talk about this. The
yeah.
savings actually comes from buying a
Hmm.
property that you can afford,
Yeah,
because that property is going to appreciate over time,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And you've been like a huge, like a person that's benefited off that the most,
Hmm.
because you wouldn't have been able to buy your tutoring center, which is a commercial unit, a commercial office unit,
Yeah,
if you didn't have that appreciation over time,
that's right.
right?
Yeah.
So it opened up so many opportunities for you, and like I'm actually really happy that you share that with other people and your students, because
Hmm.
I know like financial information is quite sensitive,
Hmm.
and obviously you haven't told them like every single like line item detail because that's like private information, but
Yeah.
the idea and your principles and the things that you've been working on, you share with your students, you share with me, you share with your friends,
Yeah.
like you're very open about it, which is important.
Yeah, yeah. I told my student when you turn 18, open your TFSA, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing you should do so that, whatever part-time job you work, save it there. Because if you don't save, you will never get anything. And then when the right time comes, invest in real estate.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny
Yeah.
because I always encourage people to invest in
Hmm.
real estate, because I don't think you need to be like a superhuman,
Yeah.
or you don't need like you don't need to be the smartest person. You just need to be really consistent in learning and
Yes.
understanding what you
Yes.
want, what you're getting yourself into, how comfortable you are, depending on like different areas, different markets, things like that.
Hmm.
The math is not super complicated
Hmm.
either. it's
Hmm.
it's I would say it's like high school basic grade level math,
Yeah.
but you really need to be consistent. What I mean by that is, like, if you're looking for properties, you're looking consistently and you're asking people the right questions and you network, right?
Yes, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
And without those, without doing those things, it's going to be hard to succeed.
Hmm.
But you don't need to be the smartest person,
No,
really.
you don't. You don't. Yeah, it's just like you say, networking. I found networking is very important.
Yeah,
Asking for who, not how.
yeah, yeah.
So get the people to help you, right? And you can't do it by yourself. So it's good to know more people so they can help you out.
And I think that one of the things that we've done recently is we've had like these small workshops,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
seminars, and at the beginning when we first started running it, it was more like educating at
Mm.
first, and then I realized, I'm like, this is actually, the value comes from being in the same room with the same people that are want to achieve the same goals as you.
Yes. Yes.
it's
That's right.
it's not the information. The information you can find anywhere. You can find online. You can go ask somebody. Maybe they know somebody that in their own network, or somebody can show them and explain it to them even better.
Mm-hmm.
But the information is like, maybe let's just say 5%.
Mm.
The 95% of the time should be really meeting the people there.
Exactly. Yesterday we did a successful seminar, right? So I know new people, and we talk and we share. I was very useful to Kevin. I'm thankful that you started this, and we will be consistent doing
Yeah,
it, right?
we've been
So
consistent. It's
yeah,
like I think that where, like I said, like that's where the value really is.
yeah, hmm,
So we try and spend the most time doing that,
yeah,
and I wouldn't say we rush through the presentation, but we got to give a little bit of like an update about how things are going, because that's what I know, and that's what I want to share.
hmm,
But other people in the room, they all have experiences that they want to share, and I think that other people could benefit from also,
that's
right?
right, that's right. Yeah,
And that's why we spend most of our time really just fostering that
hmm,
and encouraging people.
yeah,
I mean, people are going to be shy at the beginning, it's normal, but you're going to be becoming so consistent that there's going to be people, like, you're going to recognize everybody in the room,
yeah,
and it feels like family. It feels like, we're all on the same journey together,
yeah,
not not really competing against each other. So
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
uh, let's kind of talk about actually like how that all started, because it will how did we decide to start doing that, like,
For the seminar,
yeah, like
I think we started because um, you wanna people to know more about real estate investing, and then you wanna share with them,
oh,
and
that's
then
right, yeah.
I want to help my student who already done school who already have a job, have a stable income, but they don't know what to do ahead.
Oh,
And
that's right. Yeah.
they are still stay home with their parents, but they still have money, right?
Yeah.
So and they all have in their mind that one day I want to buy a house. I think everyone does. It
You're
just
right.
it's
You're right.
just not affordable at in GTA. So how can we do it with how can we invest into real estate, but but still able to afford it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's how we started. And then with you, you invest long distance. So I found that was a great idea. And we
Yeah.
put it together, the seminar, and reconnect with my existing student. At the same time, it's like I told you, right? So that I can introduce to them that what what I have been learning in the past 6 years to improve myself.
Yeah.
I went into financial so that they know that anytime they need any help, I'm there for them too. Like in terms of risk management, how if let's say you buy a house, you have mortgage insurance. I
Yeah.
mean, you have mortgage, you need protection. Right. So what do you need protection for? Is the mortgage is something that something wrong with the husband and the wife or the partner, then someone have to pay off for that mortgage, right? So
Yeah.
that's why you need life insurance. So that's a protection for them. It's just risk management. So there's a lot of things people misunderstand. So I using your seminar and we networking and we clarify a lot of myth, don't we?
We do, and actually, it's funny because I couldn't remember why we started doing it. Because the reason why is because this is what I do all the time.
Mhm.
Like that's my mission, my goal in life. That's my like my most passionate thing I do. But I was like, how did we come? Like, how did the conversation start? And I remember now because you said all your students were like me.
Yeah.
We all graduated. We all like lived at home,
Hmm.
save money,
Yeah.
or have good jobs, but then can't invest.
Yeah.
And then you were like, hey, like I was doing something that they could obviously do as well.
That's right. Yes.
And I'm not anything special. I don't think I'm doing anything special. I just I want to just look for opportunities. If I can't find an opportunity in my own backyard, I'll have to go somewhere else. It's like jobs too. Think about it. If you
Yeah.
don't, if you can't, if you're applying to jobs and you can't get a job, and you need the money, for example,
Yeah.
to play. If you're going to get a job somewhere else and somebody is willing to offer you a position, maybe
Yeah.
in a different city, people will go. It's survival, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're right. A lot of people dream of owning a home, and it seems so out of reach for
Hmm.
millennial Gen Z,
Yeah.
even parents of
Yes.
millennial Gen Z
Yeah.
and younger, whatever that is called. Like the younger than Gen Z, I don't know if they exist or not yet.
No, the Gen Alpha.
Oh, okay, Gen Alpha.
My two sons are Gen Alpha.
Okay, so Gen Alpha. So Gen Alpha, their parents are also like they're concerned as well,
Yeah.
and it's not just about the students, but it's about the parents too.
Parents too. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Parents love their kids. They're also unsure of where to deploy their capital to help their kids to invest and grow that equity as well, right?
Mm.
So I think that yeah, that's how we had many conversations about like how people are at my age, a
Mm.
little bit younger,
Yep.
are struggling with that,
Yeah.
and we just want to give them an option
Yeah.
to,
Yep. And they
you know,
found that was very helpful, Kevin. That was they found very helpful. So at least that they know, okay, I can still stay with my parents, save for the rent and so on, and I use that extra money, invest distant, and they all found it's very helpful. Remember Johnson yesterday? He said, I have to talk to Kevin afterward.
yeah, he did talk to
Yeah.
me. He did
Yeah.
talk to me, and he's a really young kid, and
Hmm.
he
He's 19.
he's 19,
Yeah.
and I told him I said I'd be available, for him,
Yeah.
obviously because he really cares and he
Yeah.
really seems to be passionate about like his goals and his dreams, and similar to me too. Like that's what I wanted for myself. Like I
Hmm.
wanted to be able to, uh, s- you know, set out on a goal and be able to achieve it, which was to buy a rental property and own a property. Uh,
Yeah, and actually, now you remind me, another purpose for our seminar is not only for the older student who done school, but for the younger one. Even my
oh,
three
that's right.
boys,
Yeah.
after they attend the first seminar, the second seminar, they learn something. They set a goal for themselves. Mommy, I want to be financial freedom at 35. Mommy, I want to go into this career
Yeah.
path. Mommy, I want to be a real estate agent.
So it gives them ideas
Yeah, give
about,
them idea, that there's so many opportunities out there. So that it's open their eyes. Sometimes in school we focus too much on academically,
yeah,
but we forget about the financial literacy. Well, they teach a little bit now, but not a lot, right? So this is the real life experience that they get to see. And I hope I can reconnect more students to come to our seminars and learn about this, Kevin.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's no, I was going to talk about the three boys, your sons. So you must be busy like all the time because you have to take care of them. You have to run your business. You also do you sell insurance as
Insurance.
well,
Yeah.
or you run your own insurance practice, tutoring. You're also a real estate investor. You're a mom. Like, how do you do it? Like, it sounds like it's a little unreal.
You know what? It's depend on how you look at it. It's depend on you look at it. Stress or not is all in your mental mind,
Yeah.
right? I realize um, every morning when the kids go school, I make lunch for them. They be in school by 8. I go for a walk. I reflect on myself every day for 1 hour for myself. Reflect on myself. How did I do yesterday? What am I going to do today? And just live at the moment. What I'm going to do today, and just give yourself space for yourself. And then once you're done, an hour that's for myself. Then afterward, that's for the rest of everyone else. Then you go back to do your job. So if you know how to manage your time, I think nothing is challenged.
Time management.
Yeah, yeah, time management.
That's been a reoccurring like theme that I've heard from a lot of different people.
Mm,
Personally, for me, I would say I'm okay at time management. I'm not the greatest, but I don't think I'm the worst at it either. But I could always improve.
yeah,
I think it just takes experience and to get into a routine and
yeah,
to what some things might work for you, some things don't. The times change, your health changes, your priorities change,
yeah.
and then you have to adjust. But you seem to be very good at that, and you've learned that over time.
Yeah, yeah, through experience, I guess you learn every day. Every day is learning. You never stop learning in your life, right? Doesn't matter how old you are. So let's say with the three boys, I focus the most on the oldest one who's 15. So I teach the oldest one, then the oldest one will take care of the other two young one. So I don't literally don't have to teach the two younger one. The older one will set up the schedule. What you do today. Give the check mark when you're done. When you're done, the two younger boys finish, he reward them. And then all I have to do is reward the oldest one.
Why does this sound like running a company?
So I guess the same with the tutoring center,
Yeah.
right? So you have people help you out, and it's just you when once you organize, everything runs smoothly, right? And schedule yourself. Uh, don't get yourself overstressed, because when you stress, you can't think clearly, and you get frustrated very easily, and it's affecting the family, affecting my boys, affecting the student.
Yeah.
So I know when I'm stressed, I raise my voice with my student, and they will say, Annie, how come you are a little bit loud today? Then I know I'm stressed. And I have to adjust myself. The next morning when I walk, I have to reflect on that. Yeah, but I'm very thankful to have good health. And I'm very thankful to be where I am right now with three good boys, and do what I love to do. Yeah,
Nobody's perfect in life,
yeah,
but you know what, though? I'll be honest with you, you're doing a very good job. And your three boys are a perfect reflection of that because they're the most well-behaved kids I've ever met. Like they're very polite. They don't like go crazy. They're nice. Like and they respect people that are older.
hmm
Um, they don't like I've met them a bunch of times, and I've always told you I'm always available to help where be available to them as a role model
yeah.
mentor as
You
well.
are their role model. That you are the role model.
I guess with great power comes great
Yeah,
responsibility, right?
yeah.
But like you were a great role model for me too. I remember when I was young, the one of my memories of you was that everybody seemed to be not fearful of you,
hmm
but people were very respectful of you when they came to the center. Like everyone wanted to be there,
hmm
and everyone knew that they needed you because you fulfilled more than just like we talked about it earlier about the academics. There's a warm feeling we have whenever we see you.
Yeah.
And I think you ask all your students, like they'll say it in some variation that I said it.
Yeah.
And I genuinely mean that. I'm not just saying that to be nice. Like I call you a lot whenever I run into issues. Or I shouldn't say issues, but things I'd like to share because you're not a firefighter. You're not
Yeah.
there to solve all our problems. But
Yeah.
whenever we have things we want to share, we don't feel awkward or afraid to share it with you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find that in life
I
for everybody.
I know I found I'm very lucky that I become friends to all my to most of my students. I'm very I feel very lucky. Like, once in a while you come back to
Yeah.
visit me. I have student in the army coming back visiting me. There was one time there was a police came to my office with a Tim Horton box with a Timbits, and the student was scared. They were
Like the
scared.
students at
Yeah,
this
yeah. The
being
student
tutored,
with the
right?
tutoring center was scared. How come the police is here? But it turned out to be one of my students.
Oh,
Yeah, that was very sweet. So for me, doing a job that you feel rewarding is amazing. You don't feel like a job. You like to do it every day. You don't feel like a job. I never feel like I'm going to work. I never feel that way. So I'm looking forward to go out to the center every day. I don't feel like I'm going to work. I enjoy it.
I know you enjoy it.
Yeah,
We always feel that energy.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
even when you raise your voice, you want to raise your voice
yeah,
because you care about the kids,
yeah. That's right.
or you want the best for them, right? But
That's right.
like I said, you're not perfect.
Mm,
That's you're gonna be stressed sometimes. It's normal.
yeah.
But like I guess you have a really good coping mechanism. You do the walking every day, and we're really lucky this winter because it's very warm,
Yes, yes.
so
And
you can do extra walking without
yeah,
being scared of the cold. It's no what you've done is really positive, I have to say. And what are your like what are the things you're kind of working on right now? Like for I guess your projects now for the future or investing goals. Like
yeah. Okay,
what things are you
so
working on?
for my focus the most right now, well, for my three boys, raising kids are not easy, and especially when they're in teenager age. We actually go for a night walk every night, my boys and I, and we'll talk. They will tell me how's their days, and I listen to them, and they talk, they express to me everything, so that there's a connection. You feel like you're their friend. So I think that's why, and then in return, when you talk to them, they listen to you because you listen to them. So they listen to you. So my priority, my first goal, my kids. And then second is networking, insurance, right? Insurance, real estate investment. I do have in my real estate investment, but hopefully expand a little bit more with Kevin. um, but networking, get to know more people, learn more about them, and let them know, well, in a way, let them know more about also how how um, how misunderstand they are about insurance too, because I learned so much about insurance that I found, oh my God, I wish I learned this in when I was in university rather than learning all science. All right. But it's the financial part that a lot of us don't know, and how we can feel so peaceful when we have protection.
People think
Yeah.
insurance is like a
Yeah.
scam.
No, it's not a scam. It's an investment. Like beside I feel to me, buy a car, the value is going down, depreciate.
Yeah,
Buy a house, the value is going up, appreciate. It's the same with insurance. If you buy the right product, though,
yeah.
if you buy the right products and you see you have the right agent, then they will explain to you what's best for you, right? And you will see the appreciation. It's an access.
So
It's just like a value is like a house.
So let's talk about that for a few moments because I'm gonna just say like what I think and what I used to think
Yeah,
about insurance. So my belief about insurance was that I'm gonna try and cover my butt for situations that may arise
yeah,
that will cost me more at that point in time.
yeah,
So the insurance is almost like helping me mitigate that sort of risk.
yeah,
So when you talk about insurance as being something that goes up in value,
yeah,
it can't be like it can't be just any policy or
It's not
any.
all the policy. It's one of the policy, right? But there's so many of them out there.
So that type of policy,
Yeah.
you had talked to me and educated me about. So we call that, what do we call that?
We call it a participating life insurance, participate or par. A par, they have dividend. There's investment component in it. They have dividend, and right now dividend is 6.2 from depends on the company, right? So it's like a compounded interest. So every year the interest you earn from what you put in, it will add it to the principal and
Yeah.
reinvest it. So gradually it will go up. So yesterday, you remember how Howard was telling us that if we invest in real estate, we have it going up,
Yeah.
maybe a rate of 4 to 5,
Yeah.
depends, right?
Or maybe
So
less
yeah,
depending on the
maybe
market.
less, but you have to worry so much. You have to worry so
Yeah.
much about the tenant, all sort of thing. So real estate have a good side of real estate, right?
Yeah.
But there's only also a negative side about it too. So for insurance, it's the same thing, but with the participating life insurance, you put the money in there, you leave it there, and it grow. And down the road, you can borrow it back. You can borrow it back to use as your retirement, right? And so on. But that's one part. But there's so many of them. And the reason why, for me, why I am promoting this, because one of my student, his sister passed away at the age of 13,
It's very young. Too
very
young.
young, and
Too young.
she is super smart, beautiful. When I talk about her, I want to cry because it's so much future in front of her.
Yeah.
And she had cancer and passed away in 5 months. And from her, I learned that I have to protect my kids. And so I bought something called the critical illness. So if my kids have 26 sickness, then I will get the money from the insurance to take care for them, spend all the time for them, right? And that's what I did for you too,
Yeah.
Kevin. I think investment is a good side, but family time, take care for your family during the stressful time is more important too.
Yeah. And we talk about that part about, the risk as well as protecting your asset.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I mean, that's really sad actually. 13 years old. And I mean,
Her mom
you're,
has nothing because
yeah,
for our culture,
yeah,
parents don't buy insurance for kids at all. Like they
don't,
believe, they have a superstitious thing that, oh, if you buy insurance, you will die soon, whatever, right?
yeah,
In
yeah,
our culture, that's what they think. But it's a protection because when that girl, she got sick, her mom didn't work at all. Her mom had to stay home and take care for her. And all the loss of income,
yeah,
the times, the money you spend, not only on traveling time, the hospital parking, how
yeah,
much would it cost? Where's all those money come from?
yeah.
Right? So it's like, for me, it's like an income replacement. It's an income replacement, and it's give me a peace of mind. Anything happen to my boys, I will be there for them, and I have that income to take care for them.
So when we talk about the that insurance, you're putting money aside every month
Yeah.
or every year, however you decide to pay for it, and it kind of gets put into a like a fund, right?
Yes, that's right.
And then that fund gets reinvested somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
let's pretend, let's make it like a mortgage, 30 years.
Yeah,
And
it's
we're,
done. You're done, but you have it for the whole life. You have it for the rest of your life.
so you can, what you're saying is that let's like pretend it's a mortgage, right?
Mhm.
30 years,
Yep.
every month I'm paying into this, let's say a couple $100,
Yep.
couple thousand, whatever it is. At the end of it all, you can borrow against it. That's what you're saying.
That's right. You can
Okay.
borrow against it, or something happened, you get that
You can
money
use it.
returned to you,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah. But especially like not only the kids, like business owner. Let's say you are in real estate right now. You
Let's use me as an example because Lynn, my wife, she got really afraid and very nervous about, the more, remember, when you buy more real estate assets, what's going to happen is that you accumulate more liability through
exactly.
mortgages.
Yeah.
And it was a big fear
Yeah.
that, hey, if something happens, there's going to be a mountain of liability.
Hmm.
I mean, you can keep renting them out still, but let's just say, for example, there's like, she's not able to manage that much. what happens there, like, things like that, right? It's kind of a scary thought.
That's right. That's right. But how does Lynn feel after we did the the insurance?
She feels a lot better.
Yeah.
And on top of that too, I will encourage, actually next time we talk about it with the students and the parents,
Yeah.
gotta talk about wills.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to have that. That's
you
right.
you introduced me to
Yeah.
a lawyer that does specializes in wills
Mhm.
and that family stuff,
Yep.
and I was like, actually I went last Friday to update my will.
Mhm.
It was like small amendments,
Yeah.
but I did my original will in 2021, and it was at that time. Let me think. Oh, wait, was it? No, no, it was 2022. Yeah, yeah,
When I met you, after I met you,
yeah.
and I gave you the lawyer number,
Yeah,
remember?
it was 2022 then.
Me too.
So at that point in time, I was closing on the second property, but I had already the first. So the idea was that you need to have some succession planning
Hmm.
situation, because if you don't have that situation sorted out, it gets messy when the assets are not
Yep.
dispersed properly.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a waste. It will be. It will take a lot of time without the will, and cost a lot of money too.
And yeah, and it's a headache for all the people that are
That's right.
they're alive, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you're gone now, so not your problem anymore, but it's problem all your loved ones are kind of burdened with this
Hmm.
additional responsibility.
Yes.
So the will part was, what's funny? The lawyer told me, she's like, "Hey, it's very nice that you're doing this now. You're a pretty young guy."
Hmm.
And I'm like, "It's because Annie told me that I should look into this."
Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm single. Or I don't have kids. Why do I need to do the will?" But I say, when you're gone, who take care for you? But someone have to look after after
They,
you pass away, right?
they call it what, like an estate? Like, what?
It's interstate. I can't remember. It's interstate that you need to have someone to look after your estate.
Oh,
Okay,
that's what it is. Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
estate. Okay, and if you don't, the government will take over, and there's probate and so on, so on. So it costs a lot of money, and so it doesn't matter. Your parents, right? If you're young, your parents still there. Whatever leave behind, then your parents know what to do. So beside, I think will is the most important, and then anything afterward, right? Doesn't matter you single or not, you have children, yeah, must have a will.
Yeah. When you told me about that, I got mixed up. I don't know why I thought it was 2021,
Yeah.
but it was 2022. I remember you told me about it, and in my mind, I had the same sort of thought. I was like, I'm young,
Mhm.
like worry about it later. But then it's, I do you really want to roll the dice on something like that? Take a chance?
You know.
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
And then the insurance stuff is important, because that was when that's how like we're kind of like on the right track now, because we got the insurance stuff to kind of help supplement with
Yep.
the will, so it
Yep.
kind of combines together. And then if something else that ever to happen, you can have that peace of mind.
That's right.
I mean,
Everything is take care for the one that alive.
it's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I mean, we're not trying to sell like insurance or anything like that, or wills or anything like that.
It's just
Um,
telling people what there's so many things in life that we need. It's
yeah,
just that we don't think about it, or we think, oh, it's not necessary, right? But you never know what happened in life. It's unexpected.
yeah,
It's really unexpected. And to me, what happened to my student? What happened to? I have a friend. He passed away at the age of 48. He has no will, and his wife have to went through so much to be able to sell the house. And she was telling me, Annie, tell your clients, tell your friends, get the will. And I learned it from her. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's important, right? You learn from other people's experiences
Yeah.
and their shortcomings and their pains as well.
Yeah.
Like unexpected things. I mean, it's called unexpected because you don't expect it to happen, right?
Right.
But those are the things that hurt you the most, I
That's
think.
right. Yeah.
Let's say even like a car accident, like if you knew you're gonna get crashed into, then obviously you can do something about it.
Hmm.
But if you don't know and you get like hit when you're not expecting it, that's probably where damage hurts the most,
Yeah.
or you get injured the most.
Yes. Exactly. But like I say, we don't know what's ahead, but we can be prepared.
Yeah.
Just be prepared. That's all. Right. Yeah.
So you've been also doing insurance for the last few years, while you're running the tutoring business. I have to reiterate it again because Annie, you do too many things. But you've been doing how, like, you got into insurance. I remember you were saying like you wanted to learn more about it,
Yes.
but how did you, like, who introduced it to you? And
I told you earlier, I started from the student that passed away.
oh,
That
okay, yeah,
his sister passed away, and that made me that was the starting point. Okay,
yeah.
I have a lot of insurance. Find my myself. I
May-
bought a
Maybe
lot
I
of
should have
insurance.
rephrased it, but like, was there somebody that kind of like mentored you at the beginning or like
Uh,
encouraged you and like, hey, you should check out this place, talk to this person? That's what really
Oh,
should have
okay, okay.
said.
So it was the person who sold me the insurance.
Okay.
It's the agent who sold me that three policy for my boys.
Yeah.
He was telling me, Annie, why don't you go and learn about it? And
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I I I see kids every day, and parents have no idea about this. So why don't I go learn? And I can educate them, like tell them it's not about selling. Honestly, insurance is not about selling, it's about educate them, let them know what's the benefit of that. What I have is benefit for me, then I can introduce to you, right? So from there I went on motivate me
Yeah.
the motivate me to learn and get the license, and I was lucky to have a good manager.
I, when you said that about the selling thing, I feel the same way too. I'm not selling anybody anything either.
No.
Like, technically yes, but at the same time I'm not because that's my lifestyle.
Yeah.
That this is what I do.
Yeah.
I would never tell somebody to do something I don't do myself.
That's right. Yep.
So I invest in real estate. I do long distance. I specialize in that.
Hmm.
And you obviously were, I don't want to say inspired, but you were impacted in a way where you realized, okay, well, I need to learn about insurance
Hmm.
and all that stuff because of what happened with your student.
Yeah.
And from those outcomes, you're like kind of preaching and like educating people on the things that sort of impacted and touched you, right?
Yeah.
And I feel the same way. I'm like, these are such great things that I know about. I can't keep it to myself.
Mm.
Like it would be selfish of me to I know this about real estate investing and it's sort of changed my life in so many ways. And then I don't tell anyone about it because I want to keep it to myself
Yeah.
or I want to like I wouldn't say, that's not the right way to live.
That's right. Yeah.
I
No, it's about sharing your knowledge. And that's what I do with tutoring, right? Sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, share your knowledge and
Share your experience. Yeah.
I so you're at a stage right now where your boys are they're teenagers. They're going to be, they're going to be in their 20s something,
Yeah.
30s at some point. And then you're going to be like hands off at that point,
Hmm.
taking care of them on the day to day.
Yeah.
At that point, what do you think your life's going to look like?
More relaxed, more Florida trips.
Okay.
But I will continue helping people.
Yeah.
I think is life is more meaningful when you help someone. They are happy, you are happy,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, I guess I heard this morning, pursue happiness. um, not stop. I never thought of retire. Never. I don't think I will retire, but I'll continue working on or doing something that I'm passionate about. And
Yeah.
if I still have energy to tutor, I'll continue. If I don't, then more real estate investing,
Yeah.
right? I'll go out, reach out, and
Volunteer maybe.
volunteer. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. But we'll have more times free to do what I love to do.
Yeah. You're very generous like with your time and always very generous with your knowledge. And I always found that you're always very honest. Like you don't hold back. And I think that that's one of the most beautiful things about you. And I always wanted people to know that, you were a very big part of uh, the early stages of my adult life. Like that was a good start that helped me. And, I'm sure a lot of young kids, teenagers would have benefited if they met you at the time that I met you. Uh, but your tutoring center can only hold so many people. That's a reality. But I hope you make content about yourself and about what you do with your kids and what you do in business because I really feel women they need more representation, right? I think that over time that's changed a lot. Like there's more female role models today,
Yeah.
but the number of men that are in business, professional athletes, like famous people, they for some reason they seem to outnumber a lot of women as well, right? In those areas.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think young women would benefit from listening to your story, and understand, what you do. And, it's important that that you've always been sharing. But when you make that content for people, I'm going to be really excited to see it.
Hopefully one day you will help me.
It's not, we're not one day. We're going to probably do it in the next couple of weeks, months. We'll work on something.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's
I would love to share. I would love to share, have your my own um I'm working on it. I'm
yeah.
working on it.
I
Yeah,
mean,
because I realize that there's a lot of girls out there, they are lost too, and they don't know what to do. Not only girls, boys too. But yes, you're right. Having someone older than you and can sort of like guide you in a way, I feel that's something that I can help out.
yeah. It's funny because you have three boys. You don't have daughters,
Yeah.
but I think you could help a lot of daughters of other parents, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's such a beautiful thing. I think that you have a very nurturing personality. It's the I always feel so happy when I'm around you, genuinely, like really happy. And I can never say anything bad about you. Like I'm very happy and I'm getting a little emotional now, for real, because I thought about my life. I'm 32, turning 33 this year. I met you when I was 16, and how hard my life would have been if we never met each other. How difficult it would have been. How where my life would be today without that start, that good positive start. Like it's very it could have turned out very different, right? It could and it could have been very negative. Who knows? But I'm happy like where my life is today. And I'm happy to have you in my corner.
Thank
And
you.
you're welcome to come on back anytime to
Thank
talk about
you.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Next time we'll bring the three boys.
Bring the three boys.
Yeah,
I think this like they have a bright future ahead, and I'm always available to support where I can. And I've given your son, the oldest one, my number.
yeah.
I'm still waiting for him to bother me, but he I guess
Figuring out his way, but he's
yeah,
very good. He's
yeah.
very good. Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to text me still, but it's okay. Like, we're not pushing anybody to do anything. But thanks, Annie. We'll have you on another time, and have a great rest of your day. And this is Annie. This is my role model. This is the person I always tell people about. So I'm happy that she came on. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Kevin, for having me and for me to share all of this. Thank you. Yeah.